Welcome back, everybody. I'm sorry it's been so long since I made a video. I think I talked about in my last video. My wife and I have been moving, so packing and driving across country and closing on a house and all sorts of fun adult things that are not at all fun. Adulting is hard. But it's been a while since I made a video, and I feel bad for neglecting you guys. So I wanted to make a video today, and kind of in the process of this whole move, something happened that I wanted to talk with you guys about and share a story and kind of mine and my wife's reaction to this thing. So we get to the new house, we close on it, we're in the middle of unpacking, and we've got most of our stuff is hanging out in the garage at this point, just get it off the truck. And we go to get dinner, or we go do something, I don't remember what. We come back and we notice later on that one of the bathrooms in the house, which looked totally fine when we did the final walkthrough, was trashed. Like the toilet seat was broken, there was toilet paper on the floor, it was just a mess, and it was kind of weird, and we were even questioning our own sanity, like, was it like that and we just don't remember? And after we talked about it and talked to several friends who had been in the house with us before this happened, we came to realize that no, somebody actually entered the house while we were not in it. So of course that kind of scared the wife and I. We were brand new to this house, brand new to this town, brand new to the neighborhood, and that's not a fun experience. Luckily, nothing's been, we haven't come across anything missing at this point. All the valuable stuff, the guns, the jewelry, things like that, none of that stuff's missing, electronics and stuff. So I don't think anything was taken. It's just, it's a really weird feeling of being violated when something like this happens. So after that, we hadn't had a chance up to this point to change out locks on doors, to change garage door opener code panels, to change or to add a security system, to do anything to the house, and we were brand new to the house. So I want to talk about some of the things that we've done since then and that we're doing actively to kind of increase our security a bit. Obviously, I have since changed the door locks. Those are all completely new now. Like I said, just hadn't had time to do it up to that point when this happened. So couldn't really be avoided, but I still feel kind of bad about just not doing it immediately. Hindsight's 2020, right? I also changed out the code boxes, that go on the outside of the garage doors. I'll roll in a picture for those of you who may not have garages like the one that I have that may not have these boxes. It's a pretty easy thing to do, by the way. If you do have a garage door opener and you're scared to change those out, it's actually pretty easy. But I'll roll in a picture here for you guys to see that. All right, guys, here's that garage door opener panel I was talking about. So you just slide the cover up here, put in whatever the code you program into it, and that will open your garage door. These are some of the things that I replaced. They're pretty simple. They use a wireless signal, pretty similar to like the little clickers that you put in your vehicle. You hit the button on the visor or whatever. Same concept. It's just mounted to the wall, so you can get in and out of your garage without having to get into your vehicle. So replace those just in case that person had the code as well to get into the garage. And also the old owners didn't leave us the old code, so kind of needed to either reprogram the old ones or replace them. I just decided to go ahead and replace them. So I also went through all of the doors and added some extra long screws. I'm gonna go show you guys kind of what I did there, just to help reinforce the doors in case somebody decided to kick the doors in. And then we'll talk after that about some of the other things that we're going to do that we just haven't done yet, because again, we're still very new to the house. So let's go look at that stuff real quick, and then we'll be right back. All right, guys. Here's the other part of the upgrades that I did almost immediately. I went through on the access doors to the house and took out the standard factory hinge and strike plate screws. Those are the screws that go in your hinges or in the strike plates for the doorknob and the deadbolt. Took those out because they're only about an inch and a half long, and ended up replacing them with some longer screws. This is a 3-inch screw here because I accidentally bought a 3-inch screw or a pack of 3-inch screws, but I got mostly 3.5-inch screws, and those are the ones that I ended up putting in there. just to give it a little bit more kick resistance if somebody tried to kick or batter the door down. Putting those through both of the studs next to the door, around the door frame, just gives it a bit more rigidity, especially if you do it on the strike plate side for one, because that's where people are most likely going to be kicking. But I decided to go ahead and just do it on the hinge side as well. And pro tip, if you're doing this on your hinges, go ahead and take out the top 2 or maybe even the top 3 screws on each of your hinges on your door, and then pre-drill those holes with a drill bit slightly smaller than whatever size screw you're going to put in. Then put your screws in, and then go back and just do the remaining 1 or 2 screws. That way you don't have to take the door completely off the frame, and it's just an easier project to do. You can do this very simply by yourself if you do it that way. Also, another pro tip, make sure you get a screw with a flanged head like this so that it seats flush with the hinge. Otherwise, when you go to close your door, it won't close because that screw head will be sticking out. So I think that's about it for this upgrade. Let's go ahead and go talk some conclusions now. All right, so now that you've seen the doors and the garage door opener and things like that, I'm just gonna list off some of the other security measures that we're gonna be taking. Obviously, we have the guns. I have the guns, and my wife does know how to use the guns as well, so that's a layer of our home security plan as well. ADT is actually going to be coming and installing a security system for us today, so that'll be checked off the box as well. And it's really nice because then later on, you know, as we get some extra money here from this paycheck or from this thing or whatever, if we want a new camera or whatever, we can add a camera, we can add lights, we can add on to the system, and it's not just a set baseline kind of thing. So I'm pretty excited about doing that too, just to continue to increase the security of the house. Something else that I actually am really happy about that we've been doing is, for those of you who don't know, I have 2 dogs. I have a German Shepherd and a German Shepherd Lab mix. And up until this incident, whenever we left the house, they were always in their kennels. My wife, and partly me too, but more my wife, didn't really trust them to not tear stuff up, use the bathroom in the house, things like that while we weren't around. But we gave it a trial run for about an hour one day after this happened, after this incident, and they did totally fine. No messes, no torn couch cushions, no chewed up shoes, no nothing. So we've done it a few more times since then. Just leave them out in the house, let them roam around, and everything's been great. So I have no concerns whatsoever about their ability and willingness to defend the house if somebody were to break in while we weren't here. So that's another layer of our security. There's some other devices and some things that we're going to be investing in as well to put into the house, both low-tech and high-tech kind of stuff, just to give us more of that security and more of that peace of mind, both while we're here and while we're not. Kind of a short video. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet. But it's just a story that I wanted to share with you guys. Just to let you know, like, I always thought, hey, you know, it's not going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen to me. I've always been prepared for things to happen, but I didn't have that sense that this kind of thing was going to happen to me at this point. There was no pre-warning. Like, we live in a really nice neighborhood in a really nice part of town. The houses all look fairly similar. The only thing that distinguishes our house from any other house is the fact that we had just moved in. So, you know, the moving truck and everything, that creates a signature in an environment. So I share this story with you to tell you, don't assume that it can't happen to you. Don't ever take it for granted that it's not going to happen, because it can. And luckily in our case, nothing really seems to be missing. The guns are all accounted for, the jewelry, the electronics, all the big high value items that typically get stolen. Those are all accounted for. So I think we kind of lucked out that nothing's missing. It's a really weird feeling of being violated when somebody came into your house. Clearly it was somebody that had a key. No windows were broken, no doors were broken, everything was locked. It's just somebody came into the house while we were gone because they had a key from the previous owners. And it's just this really weird feeling of being violated. But there are ways that you can secure your house. And if you guys have any particular methods or technologies or anything that you use besides a gun and training, please post those down in the comments below. That'll help give me some more ideas potentially of some things I'd like to do here as well. Let me know what you thought of the video, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for your time and your support of the channel. Y'all take it easy. Roll Tide. I'll see you later.